Joey Diaz decided to talk about the new Chris D'Elia documentary and the new allegations against him on his podcast. I'm going to play this to give you my thoughts on it. But will this be another situation of Chris D'Elia getting thrown under the bus by another comedy buddy of his? I wouldn't be surprised, but let's go ahead and see what Joey Diaz had to say about Chris D'Elia.
And I think the most disturbing thing that is on everybody's mind is the D'Elia thing. Guys, he's a friend. I have not been around that crew in 2.5 years. You know, I did not know what happened. I was not on that tour. I'm just hearing about documentary and I'm hearing about tour managers and girls and, guys, I got a 10-year-old. I don't know what the fuck to tell you anymore. When I was leaving LA, I was leaving in LA not to move, but I did it to shut a chapter in my life and move on to a next chapter. What I saw before I left, and it wasn't anything to do with sex or girls, it was just a common attitude and what had happened to comedians in general, that I knew this wasn't going to get any better. It wasn't the pandemic. It wasn't Netflix. It wasn't anything. It was just things had changed in the world of comedy. When I moved to Los Angeles, a comedian, toured 20 weeks. He shot a show 20 weeks, and he lived his life the other 20 weeks. You toured around Los Angeles. You did the improvs. You did, back before I started, you did Igby's and the Ice House and all these other things. And then the game changed. The game changed, and it was more about, it wasn't about the brick wall and the microphone no more. It was about 300 seat clubs and 400 seat clubs and 600 seat clubs. But we become and listen, I say we because I did the same thing. You start accepting things that you would never accepted before. But you're like, you know what? Fuck it. What can I do? I'm sick of arguing. I'm sick of raising my fucking hand. I'm sick of everything. I wasn't in a great position when I fucking left Los Angeles. And I repeated it 3,000 times. My head was up my ass. Shit was happening at the end, the last 8 months, that was just unexplainable. They were just unexplainable. And then one day the walls came coming down and all these allegations of different people. And it was like, hasn't this not been suspicious to anybody, how all these allegations came out against everybody all at once? Yeah, like all these allegations came out all at once, and listen, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not true. I know the ones I was involved in was just fucking a smokescreen and bullshit, to the point where they reached out to Bill Burr and said, listen, tell Joey we won't say anything about him no more if his people stop attacking us on Twitter. Yeah, this is what to tell you people. They didn't even know what the fuck they were fighting for. Chris D'Elia's got seriously problems. I know they were going to protest the show last week. I know that they banned him. I do not know if he ended up doing the weekend in San Diego. I'm out of the loop, so I don't know what's going on. But I heard he entered a rehab for sex addiction or something. One of the articles had it on there, and I really don't know what to say. Like, if somebody called me right now, what did you see? I didn't see any of this, guys. I saw girls come to his shows, and none of them had a fucking mum on, and none of them were handcuffed, and none of them were. I didn't say. They were all there on voluntary basis. What I'm trying to say. So I don't know what's going on. When I got out of the loop, I got out of the fucking loop, and I'm very happy. I don't look back. I love those guys. I love them all. But if you guys know anything about me, that's not what I got into comedy for. To cause all that problem, to go to war with all these guys. Yeah, and I'm not going to say I haven't had problems with comics in the past, because I have. I did it for 30 years. You're going to have a problem with a couple guys, whatever. But then I'm going to roll over to YouTube. I don't want him to roll over to fucking my personal life, and then everything I do on my podcast is about that. For the last couple of years, I don't know what's going on the internet. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore when, years ago I would post something that had no value to it, just a stupid throwaway joke. And the last couple of years, people question it. It's either one joke or two jokes, or, they didn't like how you said it, or it's too early. I think I said something a couple of weeks ago, oh, it's too early. Go fuck yourself. You don't know what early. Leave that shit up to me. I'm the comic. You paint houses. I don't fucking come to you and tell you about not put that fucking trimming on there, whatever. Leave the timing up to me. I love fucking bad timing. I'm the king of bad timing. The only guy, by the way, guys, if you guys get a chance, do me a big favor. How about a big prayer? If you guys think I give a fuck about who's doing theaters or who's involved in a fucking child porn thing, all this shit, you people are fucking crazy. That's the last thing I want to hear about. I don't know what's going on out there anymore. Half those guys don't even talk to me anymore, and it's okay. I talked to Tom this last week. I talked to Bert from time to time. Theo checks in with me from time to time. Ari's my fucking brother. Duncan's my brother. Redman's my brother. Joe's my brother. Beside that, I really couldn't tell you what the fuck is going on. I talk to Eleanor from time to time. I talk to Josh Wolf. I talk to my man Ryan Sickler. But that's it, guys. I don't know what's going on out there. I don't hear from them. If you guys...
Okay, so Joey Diaz basically saying he doesn't even hang out with that crew anymore, although he mentioned everybody, Tom Segura, Burt Kreischer, Rogan, everyone but Chris D'Elia, Brendan Schaub, and Brian Callen. Now, to be fair to Joey, he said he never saw anything. And he floated a thing that I've heard before. And I think one of those Weinstein brothers had said this, that he found it odd that the second Joe Rogan signed that Spotify deal, all the allegations against everyone in Joe Rogan's orbit came out like all at once. Meaning like this was the media's attempt. Like they couldn't get Rogan on anything, but they could get everyone in his crew on stuff. Because you're going to remember when Joe Rogan first signed that Spotify deal, his plan was moving to Texas. Everyone in his crew is going to go with him, and he's going to open up his comedy club there. And they were going to move sort of the LA scene to Austin. But then everybody Callen got canceled, then, first D'Elia, then Callen. And, they became no-nos, and you couldn't mess with them anymore. Weird theory. I won't completely dismiss it, but yeah, you talked about how D'Elia had to go into the rehab and everything. And I think Joey's just like, yeah, I don't hang out with those dudes anymore. Don't ask me about anything. Because remember, he had the allegations against him, not from anyone very specific. They just talked about, they brought up a story he would tell. He argued it was a joke about what he would make, a female open micer do to get stage time. But it's not like any specific woman came forward and said he did it. And he said that was just a joke he was telling, embellishing a story. But that was Joey's take on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.